Today we're talking about how to give a client presentation. I'm not sure why we get so nervous about this. I mean, think about it. If you have a present, aren't you excited to give it to the other person? So a reminder I have for myself is I think of literally giving my client a gift. Also think of like if you present something, that's the giving of something. And the presentation is the way in which you give. So when we're giving something, a presentation to our client, well, they're seeking your professional advice. So let's look at the information they want. So when we give a client presentation, they really want to know how long is something going to take and how much is it going to cost. They also want to know how many is going to be produced and how much is that going to cost. They may want to know how many and how long is it going to take. Basically, they're talking about items of the triple constraint as identified by PMI. It's the time, the cost, the scope, and the quality. So there are 10 tips that we found that's really helpful in giving a client presentation. First of all, simplify what you give them, right? Don't overwhelm them, make it simple. Speak their language, something they can understand and relate to their world. Focus on what matters to them. Make your point clearly, concisely, and quickly. I mean, they don't want to be there all day, like taking forever. They want you to get to the point. Get them from point A to point B quickly. Confirm they understand what you're talking about and stop and ask, do you have any questions? Is this what you expected? Is this helpful? So give them pause and give them time to think about it, make sure they're following you, and give them an opportunity to ask questions. We also want to be respectful. I mean, after all, they're the client, so they don't know what you know. So we want to be respectful if they have questions and they may not get it yet. We also want to avoid shaming them for their questions. I mean, they may have questions that for you is like immature, but they don't know. So it's important to give them the space and honor what they're asking. Excite them, get them excited about what you're presenting, something about their project or their status or where they're going or what they can obtain from this. And also it helps to set a vision for them and help them see how to get there. If you set a vision and they can't even conceptualize how in the world are we going to pull that off, then they're going to be left dazed and confused, or they're not going to believe that it's possible. And you also want to explain the process and let them know where they are in the process of the project. So again, there are some bonus phrases that we feel like we call the phrase that pays. Number one, let them know and tell them, we will take care of you. That's really comforting to know. You are in great hands. Let them know that you and your team they're in great hands. And also let them know we are excited to work with you. That really gets people to know that you're engaged. And use the phrase we. So if you need help presenting to your client, then sign up for our software now at projectmanager.com.